cause he wanna life. Yeah, life's I've been with me and back through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, life's I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Flashing on these high beams, she won't step beside me, even if I'm blinded.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing out there today? It's your boy DMV, and we got a guest today. My guy, John Herndon. What's going on, guy? How you doing?
What's up, brother? What's up, man? Thank you too for having me on here. I haven't did a show with you in a minute, D. I get a chance to meet your man E2 Blue, so I appreciate y'all having me. It's an honor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so John, can you tell the people a little bit of your background, man, for the people who don't know you? If they don't know you, they're doing themselves a great disservice.
Thank you, sir. Background. Well, I'm gonna stick with football right now. I've written for the Land Rehab. I've also written for Fansided. My boy Dink, who is out there, was the one that pretty much linked me into that. I played football before. I did some assisting with scouts. I love the game. I've also did things with boxing. I've written for Fight Hype, Boxing Confidential, Boxing Seeker. So
yeah,
I love the game. I love the game. I mean, football is probably my second favorite sport after boxing, but I can talk football all day.
Absolutely, man. And my guy E2, what's going on, man? How you doing? I know. Look, I said I was gonna get started at 8:05. I got started promptly. It was at like 8:04, like 45 seconds.
Yeah, and I had my son 2 weekends in a row. So if you see me kind of like all over the place, because I got my boy, so I got him on the video game right now, trying to keep him occupied. So
how old is he? How old is your son?
He'll be 5 in May.
Okay, that's what's up.
Oh yeah, look, when we was in the green room, John heard me telling my son, like, all right, bro, you gotta chill out, you gotta pipe down up there, you know.
Yeah, I thought you was talking to me at first.
You gotta bring that
like,
down, son.
I was like, JoJo. Yeah, ironically, his name is John too. You know, like you got a whole bunch.
Yeah, got a lot of
4.
Johns.
Well,
let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something
about my name. Irvin is not going to be anything anymore ever. That stops right here.
Oh, sure.
Well, full transparency. I'm named after my father. My father was on drugs most of my life, and that ultimately was his demise. He passed away last year.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
They found him dead in the subway station in DC, and it's crazy, man. But I look at it like this is a bittersweet thing. Like, he's not struggling no more. You know what I mean? Like, I just pray that he knew the Lord. He was a great guy. It's just that he just suffered with drugs, man. And I told myself, because of that, I didn't want that generational curses to keep going. So for me, it stopped for me. So that's why I named my son something different. So he can start his own.
Name? What's your son's name?
My son's name is Austin.
Okay.
But it's spelled AUSTYN instead of IN.
Oh, black people always
gotcha. Well, I wanted to give it a new millennial. I wanted to get because Austin is an old name, right? So like giving it the Y, the TYN, it gives it like a new generational type of feel to it.
All right, that's cool. I ain't hate.
Yeah. What's up, son?
Well,
you okay?
Yep. That's Austin. You know, Austin being after one of my favorite cities. I love Austin, Texas, bro. Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it. So let's talk about some news. Look, John, I told you something was going to happen today. I didn't know what was going to happen, but Hassan Reddick got traded.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I was at work all day.
They've been pushing that trade. Where did he go?
He is going to the Jets. I'm not sure exactly what the particulars are, but they're going to work out a future deal for him. So Hassan Reddick is off our necks for now. You know what I'm saying? Hassan Reddick was a very good player for the Philadelphia Eagles. One would say that he set the tone for that defense over there. But, they did draft Nolan Smith last year, so they might have a path with that going forward. But Hassan Reddick is out of our hair now, guys. So how do we feel about it? I'll start with you, John.
I like competition. For me, it really didn't matter if he stayed or if he left. Uh, it's like when they got Bird, the safety. I didn't care. I like competition. I mean, but I think Steele is more he's more happy thinking because what he did to his ass last year. So that's interesting though. But I think he's a good player. If Nolan Smith is the alternative, I don't view him as good as Hassan Reddick. But I mean, farewell. We won't have to deal with him. You know, that just makes the Eagles weaker. But we have to see what they're gonna do in the draft too.
Absolutely. How you feel? How you feel, E2?
I'm just glad he going out the division. If we couldn't get him on our own squad, I'm just glad he out the division because we got enough stuff to worry about. We got to worry about going against our own old guys in Washington. So I want to see how that's going to turn out too.
You mean Fowler and Armstrong?
Yeah.
Really?
To be honest, the guys.
I just think because they know
Yeah.
Dak. You know what I'm saying? Like they played against them. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not worried about them. All you got to do
I
is
was
go
gonna be
look
like
at
without Micah. Without Micah, Dak was carving these dudes up in practice. Dan Quinn.
All you got to do is look at training camp tape. Neither one of them was getting anything going. I'm not afraid. I look forward to look. I'm more the Bama boys is more so the thing I worry about.
Yeah,
remember?
Deron Payne. They still got Jonathan Allen over there.
And then you got to realize we used to play against Chase Young and Sweet, and I think they're better than Fowler and Armstrong. So we dealt with them. So we'll see them.
We just gotta for our own team though. We gotta get some reserves because Sam Williams ain't just it. Like they got to do something else back there.
I mean, it's early though. It's March, so you know it's a lot of stuff to go on. It's a lot of players we haven't seen. We had Pinocchio last year. We didn't get a chance to see what he did. You got the draft coming up. I mean,
we still got Wheat.
Tyrus Wheat. Yeah, I'm glad somebody mentioned him. Yeah, we still have Tyrus.
We still got him. I actually like him.
No, I love him. I
feel like they just need to give him. I feel like they just need to give him more of a chance. You know what I mean?
I mean, he can play strong side. He can play edge. He's 265 pounds. I mean, he can move. I think he should have got a lot of burn last year. But that's another topic. I don't want to deviate.
Well, here's the thing. Somebody gonna get some. Somebody look. I wasn't even going to look. I had it lined up a specific way, but this kind of segues into one of the points, which is Mazi Smith is out for 4 to 6 months with after the shoulder surgery. So somebody in there is going to play. You know what I'm saying? We're probably going to have to draft. Look, last week, E2, we talked about D tackle, even without Mazi having that issue. And now we're going to have to, we're going to have to definitely address that in the draft. And I also think another way to address it is post June 1st. Probably going to have to hit the wire for some cheap labor. I think the way to do it, and I'll say my way first. I think the way to really do it is cheap labor, but a couple of bodies. Like you do it, not necessarily one body, but it's going to have to be a team
quantity.
Effort. So
you talking about quantity?
Yep. You're going to have to do it that way with veterans. But
I just wish. Hold on, not to cut you off, but just real quick, I just wish they would have at least signed Jonathan Hankins. That way, I would have felt a little better. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it like this: Mazi can't do it by itself, but having both of them there, and Jonathan Hankins was a good mentor to him. You know what I'm saying? Like helping him out. I
mean, Jonathan Hankins gonna be 32 years old. I think they can go young. They're guys. They still got players. They still got guys. They still got guys out there that can go for that purpose who are younger.
I'll tell you, John, I would have liked to have signed him for what he signed for one, and number two, if they had known the shoulder surgery was going to happen. This team doesn't have a great track record of trying to rush people back after injury.
Now, I completely, thoroughly agree with you on that assessment. They do rush players back way too fast, but now we got the
draft.
Why
do you wait so long to get the shoulder surgery, though?
I mean, sometimes with that, it's just the significance of what the injury may be. I mean, it depends on what it is. Sometimes you do a cleanup. Sometimes, and then here's the thing: every player at the end of the year they get surgeries, but all of that stuff isn't always put out there. Like a lot of guys get cleanup. Sometimes it's more significant. So he may or may not thought it was significant until he did the rehab, and then they looked at it. And that's projection. He could be back, and if I'm not mistaken, 4 to 6 weeks. That's training camp.
No, it was. I think they said 4 to 6 months, but yeah, they
I'm
said
sorry.
training camp. Yeah.
I heard of that wrong. Yeah, 4 to 6 months. So if you look at the projection of that, what we got April, May, June. We training
And
camp.
we also don't know when he got the surgery too, because Mike McCarthy just addressed it, so he could have
Right.
gotten it a month ago. You know what I'm saying? And that's a month that's off the books.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
you get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
none of us would have even known that. I just think that if they knew it, that bringing Hankins back probably would have been a good insurance policy. You still could add the people that we're talking about. You still could go get a DT in the draft.
There's a defensive nose tackle out there. I forgot his first name, but his last name is Tart. It's Tart. I forgot who he plays for. He's 26 years old. Last year was his best season. I'd rather go with a younger player. I like Jonathan Hankins, but what I saw
But you're right.
last year, I would rather go with someone young as opposed to another older veteran guy that is like, I don't think he's going to get any better. I'd rather just go young.
Yeah,
And
not
that's
to
just my
mention it.
personal philosophy.
And if we're being honest with ourselves, I love Hank. Don't get me wrong. And
Me too.
I wanted Hank back, so I'm just making that. I'm making
You
that.
know what?
And that
There's
contract that they gave him, he definitely could have got that here.
But but Hank, let's be honest. Let's be honest with what John is saying. Hank, the last 2 years has gotten injured at a certain point in the year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And age might have something to do with it. But
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's just I'm not into bringing back older veterans. And I forgot it is. There's a nose tackle that played for the Raiders last year.
Go play
I forgot his name. I should have put this down in notes. He produced much better than that. So they'll still be able to get a veteran later. Because some vets don't like to sign her. But I'm cool with Jonathan Hankins moving on.
yeah, it's not gonna make or break me. We still gonna have to get a DT anyway. We're still gonna have to get multiple DTs. And honestly, let's be real. Maybe Hankins, maybe they let him go. No, I mean I know they tried to sign him, but maybe it wouldn't have fit here with what we got. Because I mean, it's not like we have DQ coming back. We have Zim coming back. We know Gunther. They have things that they like in their run fit. So maybe they'll have an opportunity to get the guys in here that they kind of want. Because if we look at when DQ came here, the transformation happened when he was able to really change the guard of a lot of what we were already doing. So I mean, defensive tackle is very, very important. And maybe they have their eyes on a couple of guys. Maybe they have their eyes on a couple guys in the draft. Maybe there's one or two guys on this team already that they think can fill it. Now, I don't think so, but that's just me. I'm not in the building. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but Phil, and what are you asking? Like to fill what though? Like what are we asking? Run stopping here, pass rushing?
Yeah, I actually want run stopping, and I don't necessarily need a pass rushing defensive tackle. I just need somebody to push the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Push the pocket and allow our edges to kind of squeeze the pocket a little bit better. You know, that's really what I'm looking for.
What Brian Broaddus used to say, a big refrigerator with arms.
Oh, yeah, the only thing, but see, the only thing
trash can full of dirt, I think.
Yeah, Zimmerman doesn't run guys. Like he don't get guys that are like 360. You've looked at his history. He usually like guys that are a little bit more penetrating with speed. So he's probably, I wouldn't be surprised they go get some guy that's about 305. He likes disruption more so than guys who just kind of, hold the land. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with the.
And you know what else too? I was having a spirited discussion with my brother Foots this morning, and we were talking about edge and the type of edges, and I really just specifically remember them liking their edges to have length, like guys that are about 6'4", 6'5", long arms.
Yes.
And I don't know if we have that right now. You know that.
The only guy that comes close to that is Fiocco, and he didn't play last year. I think he's
I really like Fiocco.
I do, but we don't know what he can do yet. That's the thing.
I mean, you don't know what he can do on the NFL level. But if you see his tape, you can. But I agree. I think I don't know if he has the personnel yet that's in the building. But we have to see.
And then you gotta ask yourself, does Ghosting maybe go back to end? You know what I'm saying? Like
I thought that was when he first got here, I thought they were going to use him as a strong side defensive end, stick him inside in pass rush situations. But somebody told him to get 300 pounds, and then they made him a full-time.
They always trying to
I don't know.
Get these guys to be big. Like they did that with everybody. They did that with that tight end that we had too. It messed up his career too. Remember what's his name? Rico Gathers.
Rico tried to make play.
They tried to make him big though. Then he got sluggish.
But he couldn't play though. Like he just couldn't play football.
I don't know why they even drafted him. He was a basketball player. Like it just that was some Jason Garrett stuff. But
Antonio Gates. Like the league is a copycat league. Like so when you look at guys who are
ex-basketball players. But he's not Antonio Gates.
No, I didn't say he was, but it's a copycat league. You know, when people run a particular style, everybody else think they can do it, and you don't have
I got you.
I mean, I don't have a problem with them reaching for him. I had a problem that they kept him for so long.
Yeah, but bro, we keep a lot of guys that we like for some odd reason.
They overvalue. They kind of overvalue their own players. I think. Like I think the best organizations when you decide and realize we made a mistake, let's move on. And instead you allow someone. It's like what's it? I think we had Isaiah Stanback. We had him. We had Danny Amendola. And so we kept Isaiah Stanback because of measurables, and Danny Amendola could actually play wide receiver. And so teams do that all the time. I mean, we do it. A lot of other teams do it. But I just want football players. I don't care what I mean, I have my own measurement ideas, but if you can play, you can play. But that's the Dallas thing.
It is. And so I kind of want to jump into really the meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about today, because I mean, it was mainly the discussion all week. I'm pretty sure, John, you probably got off of Twitter because you just were sick to death of all the negativity. I know I was just sick to death of it, but we're going to talk about the Dak Prescott contract situation and what's going on. So I'm actually I'm going to start it off by saying, honestly, there was no news for me. I felt like hearing Ian Rappaport's report just let me know that, okay, we're no further than we were at the beginning. I mean,
what do you mean?
Nobody sent an offer. Nobody rejected anything. Like, I mean, at this point, like they could get a deal done tomorrow. Maybe they won't. I mean, in my mind, I just feel like the way that it was worded, it was almost as if the Cowboys were ready to move on, and people took the bait.
You mean from Rappaport? How his
from Rappaport, yep. How it was written, how the breaking news was. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think with how it was worded, everybody just is ready to jump the gun. Not everybody, but a lot of people are ready to jump the gun and say that the Cowboys are done with Dak. So I'm going to ask you fellas how you feel about what transpired this week, and do you guys think that things can be repaired if it needs to be repaired at all?
I'll let EJ go first. I mean, I went first last time.
Can I just start off by saying that the Cowboys have snatched my soul, and not in a good way?
Okay, hold on. I gotta ask a question.
Not in a good way.
Because I have a lot of friends, and I've dealt with a lot of Cowboy people. Like, y'all suffer from mental block trauma. Like, what is it?
No. That's why I said I have no emotion about it anymore. I used to. I don't any longer. Like right now.
But that's March though. That's March though.
Right now, as a content creator, it's just straight for content. Like I no longer have emotions about the Cowboy. I will forever be a fan, but I no longer put emotions into it. Like
I stopped that
as long. Well, yeah, I try to give him a chance, but you know how it is. It's that one ex-girlfriend. You're like, damn, but she looked good today. You know what I'm saying? When they start winning, you be like, damn, she look good today.
She got that sundress on, baby.
She got that sundress on. Them cheeks be cheeking. You know what I'm saying? And then you see it, and you like, man, It's like two midgets fighting over breast stick up in that jump. So but
I have a question though. Hold on, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Like you said, they snatched your soul. I mean, elaborate. I haven't been around like so. It's just, like, what do you mean?
When I say that, I say that like I put a lot of heart and soul into this team, as far as not just for my channel, but just in general, like taking up for them and trying to come up with something positive to say. After this season, this is the first season that I've ever been a fan of this team where how it ended with Green Bay, and I was just like, I was lost for words. I didn't do a video on my channel for like the first
where were you
month, and I was just like, because I didn't know what to say, because I'm just like, it really I had a lot of emotions. I was sad, I was hurt, because I was like, we had an opportunity to do big things last season. The Eagles had that dramatic just fault. We were right there. They gave us the division, first of all.
Nah,
and then you had a chance.
Hold
on. You had a chance to go in there to get 3 home games. You had a chance to get 3 home games potentially. You squandered that because you lost to the 7th seed. You lost to a young team. Not taking anything from Green Bay. They're a good team, and they're going to be even better going forward. But you went in there and dropped a goose egg. And when I went back and looked at it, I was like, do you think that Dan Quinn was like, he knew that he was going to leave? So he was like, he didn't make any adjustments? Because Stephon Gilmore came out and said that he said himself, I was upset because we didn't make any changes in the second half. And normally we do tweak things with Dan Quinn. This game was different. It was almost like he just gave up.
But here's the thing, though. I'm not saying that Dan did his job, but to me, the beginning and the end of all this goes down to the head coach. That still comes down to the head coach. I know people got upset about what went on last year, but honestly, if you go back and look early in the season, it's not that surprising. I mean, you're running a 205 safety playing linebacker. What do you think a team is going to do? They're going to run 13 personnel. They're going to run the ball down your damn throat. We haven't been able to stop the run in over 2 years, so it wasn't completely surprising like what happened. You just didn't expect it to happen with Green Bay. But there's a flip side to this as well, because you look and say, okay, Detroit played San Francisco tough, and if I'm not mistaken, we beat Detroit in the regular season. So, and then here's another positive, because it doesn't matter if it's barely. It don't matter if you beat a team by 3 or you beat them by 7 or 40. A victory is a victory. So let's just say we beat them. We had played them. It was the NFC conference game. Are we gonna sit here and say we barely beat them? No, you're gonna take the victory. That's what you had.
No. I mean, I understand that completely. I'm just saying, like, it's just the way it ended. It just was just like, come on, you did all that. You won those games. You got yourself to a situation to put yourself in good situation to at least get to the title game. Because I wasn't even saying let's go to Super Bowl. I was just trying to get to the title game. Even if we had lost,
that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem.
But I don't like.
And I'm only saying that because we ain't got there so far. So it was like, for me, it's like, let's take.
Nah, this ain't the Olympics. This is not
because was you really expecting them to go to the Super Bowl after all these years not doing nothing?
Nah, hold on.
You want that, but that's not. Let me
answer that. Let me answer that.
All right, go ahead.
When it comes down to it, just with everything with a football season, and it's only one team. One team is going to win. There's going to be a lot of doubt. But going into this season, I didn't think it was something you said, D. You mentioned last week where you said you like the Anthony Barr signing. I don't know how much into it, because when you look at what we did the year before when we played San Francisco, we played them in their house. We had Van Der Esch in there. We had Anthony Barr. We had Israel. So we had size and length. So I'm thinking the next season, we're going to go out and get a version of Anthony Barr, but we're going to get a young guy.
Yeah.
But they don't go out and get a 200. They don't go out and get a 250-pound linebacker. You see Wanye, he's 230. So I'm figuring, okay, we're going to get bigger at safety. But we didn't go that route. Van Der Esch got hurt, which is not surprising because he had a history of that. But you had no one there. So when I saw us running out safeties, all I thought was like, this is not going to work. This will work in high school. No disrespect to high school players, but it's not going to work in the NFL. They're going to work personnel election.
That was on the coaching staff to
that's on T's
and dot their I's to bring in a linebacker.
No, that's on two things because the front office is the guy who did the acquisitions. So you should have looked at that. But you also had people on the roster. Tyrus Witt is 265 pounds. He can play linebacker. But I know coaches also like their guys. And I'm not saying it's right, but coaches like their guys. And so if you notice, they decided to go elsewhere. But that still comes down to me. I don't know what goes on. I'm not in the building. But as a head coach, McCarthy has to look at this and say, okay, these are the things that we have. But here's another thing. It's not surprising that Dan Quinn was safety because when he got here, he brought Neal, the guy from Atlanta, and he used him as a safety.
Forgot about
I know, but that's what people do. They'll forget, and it's just like, are you guys really surprised? And also, here's another thing. Let's look at two things. When he played in Atlanta, when he was the guy in Atlanta, all of his players were undersized. His biggest claim to fame is where? Seattle. That defense, that's Pete Carell's personnel. So Pete ain't running no 204-pound linebackers. So that still has to come down to McCarthy, and it has to come down to the personnel. But McCarthy himself has to look at this and say what I have and what I don't have. But I can't say that you should. Well, I can't tell you how to feel. If you feel your soul snatched because Green Bay came in and did what they did.
So back to what I was saying about the whole so that was how I felt towards the end of the year, and DMV, him and I talked about that around that time as well, because when we was even at Mark's house during the Super Bowl, we were like, yeah, it was just sad that we weren't there. But now the way I look at it now, I said, all right, going forward, taking emotion completely out of it, I'm just going to talk about the content, this, that, and the third. Now, as long as the Joneses are running this team, this is what we at. We soft as Q-tip cotton. They are businessmen. But my whole thing is, you can run a business, but you can't run football like you run other businesses. My thing is, get out of football, sell the football team to somebody else that is
that's never gonna happen.
Because this is the thing. I understand that, but what I'm just saying that's what they should do. If you're gonna continue to do it like this, you can't run a football organization like this. We are never gonna win a Super Bowl like this ever.
Do it like how?
How they're doing it.
No, but when you say that,
the way they're doing things now with this offseason, not going out and getting players. You talking about you all in.
Hold on.
But you don't sign players. You don't do anything.
But hold on. You say you want to.
And this year we don't have that many draft picks. So what are you gonna do? You can't go into the draft hedging your bet that you're gonna hit on every draft pick. We know that this team is good because you can't.
Why?
You cannot go into the draft because this is what other teams are gonna do. When they know that you're desperate, they're gonna go get that player. Look at when we was drafting when Brian Shazier came out.
I want to answer some of your questions though. Why would you assume that you have to be? Because me and D was talking about. I was just responding to Knicks about like drafting, but just because you need a left tackle, everybody needs left tackles in the league. Everybody needs players in the league. I mean,
I'm talking about for depth purposes, right? You don't go in a draft like not having nothing at a position, right?
Why do you assume that though? But it's not just a draft.
It's not assuming that's just the way it is. That's just common sense.
No, that ain't common sense because you have players from last. I'm finna answer that. You have players from last year that got no burn, so you don't know what you have there. So you can't necessarily say these guys can't play if they haven't had the opportunity.
I didn't say they couldn't. What I'm
saying, no. I'm just trying to answer your question, though. I'm not saying that's what you said, but you just said you can't assume. I'm only from a fan perspective of it because we're not in the building. But if you're
the point I'm making is other teams around the league are making their team better. They're forever doing things.
Hold on. You're talking about. Hold on. You're talking about when Denver signed Randy Gregory in 2022 for $70 million and cut him next year.
I'm not talking about that.
But that's a signing. I'm just giving an example.
I'm not just talking about just willy-nilly ass signings. I'm talking about doing things the right way, bettering your team. Look at the 49ers. They got a
49ers maybe.
And they always continue. They always continue in churning the roster. It's about churning your roster. The same 30%, thing with the Eagles. The Eagles always wait a minute. Let me finish my talk.
But wait a minute. If you're saying they're turning the roster, they're literally letting old guys go, and everyone's upset about that. the way you have to build a football team is via the draft.
I'm not talking about, see, you're misunderstanding my point. I'm not talking about just signing old 33, 35, 38-year-olds. I'm talking about churning your roster, getting young, not just old talent, but young talent.
You're talking about retention,
right? Retaining guys that are good for you.
Yeah,
you're not retaining nothing. You're not doing anything.
We haven't done a very good job of retention over. I know at least the last 5 years we have not done a very good job.
But I'm asking, when
you can't sit here and tell me that the Eagles have not made themselves better. They went from
a team that didn't even. Hold on. But I'm just saying,
they went from a team that didn't even have. It doesn't. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just in general. When you look at their roster, they went from a team that didn't win a Super Bowl at all to go and winning in 2017, and then going back to another one.
They also had to suck to do that, though, bro.
Since '95. So,
well, okay. When's the last time the 49ers went and won a Super Bowl?
But they're making it to title games. They ain't even doing that. I'm just trying to get to a title game.
Nobody in the
in 25 years. Can we do that?
The 49ers ain't won in 26.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying they've gotten farther than we have. They're consistently getting there. And we're consistently one and done and two are done.
This is not the Olympics, though. The end goal is there's no organization that's sitting there and saying, man, let's just get to the conference title game.
You say the Olympics, but I want the gold if I'm in the Olympics.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say, D. When people say let's just get to the conference game, that's like, to me, it's like they're not giving out the silver medal for that. The end result is you're trying to win a Super Bowl, and at the end of the year, 31 teams are going to disappoint it. One team isn't.
But what I'm saying is, the fact of the matter is, I just don't think that the Joneses are football people. Period. They don't need to be running an organization of football with that type of mindset, because their whole mindset is just, okay, we're going to sell these tickets. We're going to do this. We're going to have boxing matches here. We're going to have baseball. We're going to do this. We're going to have concerts. Okay, you can have all that.
No, but that's using the stadium. That's using the stadium.
I understand that, but it's still, they're doing things that other teams ain't doing. The focus is always
like what? No, but when you
like it's ever on football.
No, but when you say that, let's just stick to the football part. When you say that, I'm not necessarily saying Jerry Jones is a football guy. So I just want to put that out there. I'm not saying that at all. But I remember the way Jerry did things, and I know I'm seeing the way Steven does things, and people seem to still be upset with how he does things, like from a contract perspective. But I'm just trying to ask, as I know you're saying they're not doing the things the right way and other teams are doing it. I'm just trying to get more of the details when you say that.
You're not.
Let me interject. I know what he's saying.
I'm not. What I'm saying is, he say, let's sign somebody young. I'm like, all right, point to somebody and give me an example. Would you have signed Chase Young to $13 million for 1 year? Okay, then. I mean, he's young. Would y'all have been happy with that?
Well, you're talking about somebody. You're talking about somebody that's injured prone.
I just used, but I just used. But hold on, I just used.
And I understand it, and I was using the example, and I'm not speaking on a particular player. I'm just saying.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Because you're not letting me finish, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
What I'm talking about is they're not doing nothing, right? So last year, right, you went out and got Stephon Gilmore. You got a cornerback. Then you went and got a wide receiver. I'm talking about doing things like that.
That was at it. But that's not at the beginning. But you're not looking at the timeline.
Let me finish. So when you get to the draft, you're not going in there saying, oh, I need this, I need that, I need that. It's just like when you go shopping at the grocery store. When you go shopping at the grocery store and you hungry as hell, you're going to go buy stuff that you don't need because you hungry. When you go there in a full stomach, you're focused. You get what you need, and you get up out of there.
But they did what you have said, and they have not gotten anywhere. They did it for the last 3 years where they've signed veterans before they draft, and they've gotten nowhere.
That's a good point. But you know what, though, guys? To talk about each point, because we got to go back to the Dak. We got to go back to the Dak conversation, right? In order to even do the things that he's talking about, we gotta do right by the people that we're supposed to go all in with, because see,
But
that's what Jerry said.
That's what I'm talking
Jerry
about.
said we're gonna go all in with the guys that are supposed to be cornerstone guys. Dak, CD,
But that's what
Micah.
I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you
All right,
you disrespecting them.
hold on, I'm at.
And then you
Well,
say,
I wish somebody.
then you talk about CD Lamb like he not even on the team. Like,
Hold
you
on,
gonna just
let me
go out
finish,
and get 4 guys for him? Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but let me finish. I think the part that E2 Blue is saying is the part that we're neglecting is the free agency part. Like, you can't completely neglect that, especially when your retention, like I did the math over the last 5 years, and I like hits and misses, right? Like I said, 14. 7 of them are on the roster now. 7 of them are gone. Now we'll get the comp picks, but when you're not adding in free agency, you know what I'm saying, in the front half, you know, you're on the back half scrambling when you have less picks in this draft. So I understand what he's saying from
But
that
the only
aspect.
thing is, but I look at what they have did over the years. They ended up signing Curse at the time. He gave them 2 productive years. They got Hooker. They ended up getting Fowler. They retained Armstrong. They got Hankins. They went out and got people, but if you also got to look at the timeline, if you sign too early, one, market value is going to be way high. So you're going to be paying great money to players who are not great.
You got them, but you didn't retain them.
But you
went and got a
hold on.
One of them, and now you're not even going to resign them again.
Which guys are you
want to a 5th round draft pick?
But which guys are you talking about retaining?
I'd rather retain our draft picks that we hit on. That's what I would rather do if we're going to be homegrown. You know what I'm saying? Like,
at this point, they got Jordan Lewis, wonderful. I just wanted them to get Gilmore and Hankins for depth purposes, right? Because you need solid bodies there for those positions, because players gonna get injured. That happens. But now you don't have any depth.
But hold on, you
look at defensive tackle. You got Mazi with a broken shoulder, and then you got Osa. That's all you got there. Well, Carlos Davis, but we don't know what he could do. So I mean, everything is up in the air right now. We don't know. Now we can reconvene. We could talk, John. We could come back to this at training camp when we see these guys on the field and see what we can do. I'm just speaking for right now. When you look at on paper,
I know, but when I talk right now, I also look at what it is and who you're trying to retain. And when you said depth purposes, Gilmore has been hurt for the last 3 years. Why do I want to retain a guy who's 30?
He wasn't hurt for us. He was good.
He got hurt. Yeah, he tore his shoulder
until the last game of the season.
Okay, then. So you mentioned depth purposes. You said that about depth. I'm just going to talk about
right now.
I'm just going to talk about from last year from a depth purpose. They end up
because look, you come back. You got Trey Diggs, right? But Trey Diggs come back from.
Hold on, can I? You told me. Let me just say this one thing. So yeah, I know what happened with Diggs last year. Right. But the guy who was a 5th round pick, who people you can't do it in the draft, ended up being the best corner. But he was a guy that they drafted, a young player. Like, I understand all of that, but it's right.
But we also don't have a full draft this year. That's the point I'm making. If we had 12 draft picks, then I'm like, okay, go in there and get what you need.
But the drafts in the past used to be 12.
We don't have a draft pick in every draft this year.
You don't need.
They're gonna have to make magic happen just to get players in this draft. You're gonna have to hit on your. We ain't been hitting in our second rounds in the last couple of years. Come on now. Come on.
But
you gotta agree with me on that one.
Yeah, because but no one's gonna hit.
Schoolmaker ain't it.
So hold on. You judge a player off his first year.
Don't everybody do that?
No.
Everybody because you got fans out here talking about this guy's a bust. This guy's but Schoolmaker ended up getting injured too. He got surgery as well.
Okay, but I just said earlier in the show, every player gets surgery.
So yeah, I'm live streaming right now. Sorry, y'all.
Austin said loud noise.
My mom just came in and he got excited. I'm sorry, but yeah. I'm just saying. Y'all beating me up like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not
like we in a back room somewhere.
No, I'm not beating you up. All I'm saying is, at this time of the year, everybody, to me, in my opinion, not everyone, but a lot of people are overreacting to this entire thing. It's just like people act like there's no undrafted free agent.
I'm not overreacting.
Hold on. You said you wanted me to to not let you. I mean, are you finished talking? If I can counter, because I just want you to talk.
Well, you kept interrupting me, so
I know that's why I'm being quiet.
I never
I'm
even got
about
my
to be
point off, but
quiet.
go
No,
ahead.
I'm
You got
about
it,
to
bro.
be
You
quiet.
got it.
No, go ahead. Finish your point.
No, you got it. I don't even know what I was gonna say no more because
Yeah.
you done threw me all the way off. But you got it. Go ahead.
My apologies. All I'm saying is that you have the draft. You also have undrafted. You have teams who are going to get rid of players. They're going to be trade acquisitions. I mean, talent is 365 days of the year. It's not just in March. You don't build your teams in March. You build your teams in April. That's when things. It's not the draft.
I'm not disagreeing with that part though.
But we haven't even gotten there yet. The thing is, you don't want to sign now. Everything is going to be. Yeah, that's a great point right there. But that's another point.
I wanted to bring this up while y'all were talking. Yeah, so John, you're kind of getting on to this point right now about the overreacting. So I wanted to bring up the notes. I couldn't put it on PowerPoint or anything like that.
Nah, that's cool.
That people can see it. But you brought up some points. You sent it over to me about why people shouldn't, what Mike McCarthy was able to do in the past. So I want you to kind of talk to that. Why you're talking about this now, and maybe because it might make a little bit more sense to the people that don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand what you're saying. I understand both points.
So the thing is, I understand how EJ is looking at it, and he's saying that they're not doing things. But when you look at what they have did since he got there, I remember a lot of people was upset with Collins, like why we let him go. And then they replaced him with Steele, who at the time before his injury was probably a top 15 tackle. Also, when you have TJ Beth, I've seen McCarthy draft dudes in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round. These are offensive linemen that we faced in 2014 to 2016. And these dudes were all first pro all team, not Pro Bowl. I'm talking all pro. So you still have guys from last year. We still have Jonathan Stevens. We didn't get a chance to see him. Jake Ferguson was a 4th round pick. I don't know about the thing with Luke. It may not work out.
I like our young tight ends. I don't know about Schoonmaker, but I like the other guys. I think they're going to be good.
But I'm not. I just think that it's like going at a job. Are you going to be judged for your first 9 months at a job, or are you going to have a time to allow yourself to get into your job?
I think you're miss.
No, I'm not talking. No, I'm not. I'm not talking just you in general. I'm talking about people in general, because people will label a player the first year a bust. So I'm
not one to do that. I'm not one to do that. Just so you know.
You just said that. You just said he was.
I'm just saying because I didn't agree with the Schoonmaker pick in the first place. That's what I'm talking about. Not just judging him as I mean, he got 2 touchdowns and 66 yards, and the rest of it was blocking. I guess I don't know what they're doing with him. I just felt like they could have went something better at the 2nd round right there.
So it sounds like you're upset that you don't know the plan.
I think that's everybody.
Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. It ain't just me.
No. All you got to do is try to look at the history of the coach and the way things have been constructed.
The culture
is frustrating. That's a frustrating because we know the history.
No, I mean the history of the particular coach that's in charge, as opposed to Jason Garrett. A lot of people will go with like the last 30 years. It's like Mike McCarthy ain't been around for that long, and neither have these players.
And I agree with you, John. And not to cut you off, but I think McCarthy is a really good coach. I also think Mike McCarthy is handcuffed with some of the things that he can do, because we're looking at some of these guys that you bring up, right?
Right.
And they're gonna still draft the type of guys that can wear the Stinson and sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not saying that that's the case, but I remember on the app, everybody thought Terrence Steele was god awful.
Include myself.
Everybody wanted Knight to play instead. And you can go and look
I
at
didn't know who I wanted to play.
Right.
Brandon Knight. Wow.
Right. A lot of people, I got into it with John Owens, all these dudes. I was just like, you guys are overreacting, because I happen to be in Chicago. I'm not saying, I just happened to see the Packers, and I saw the way he was constructing guys and how he would get these guys in the later rounds that were offensive linemen, undrafted guys, and he would do things with these players. He's did it before, and It's a lot of things this team has did which has been different. Like last year when they talked about bringing Zeke back, they didn't bring him back. They cut him. They moved on from him. You got to get younger. You can't get old. And they doing this now in the offseason, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, we lost this guy." People over panic when they got Tyler Smith, and it's just like people are upset because you don't know the plan. It's like you're not part of the plan. We're not in the building. But I know a lot of teams that wouldn't mind having a team that won 36 games in the last 3 years. I could talk to a lot of Chicago Bear fans that would love to have that. There's a lot of teams that I just think people are just really overly panic. This team has won the division in 2 out of 3 years. Their biggest shortcoming has been the playoffs. That's just been their shortcoming. And that happens. You know, it's no guaranteed happy ending. And even with all the acquisitions that San Francisco has did and all the moves that they have made, they have still not won a Super Bowl. They still haven't did it. They usually imagine if the things they're doing happen in Dallas, it would be blown up even more. You mean you're going to spend 3 first-round picks on a project that you got rid of for a 4th rounder? They would get killed. So this stuff just happens. It's just football. There's no guarantee that any of this is going to work out. But if you look at it closely, there are things that you see that is resembling. I mean, would you wanted them to keep Tyler Biadasz? He's an average center. You found him in the 4th round.
I've been trying to replace him for 2 years. I actually wanted Linderbaum over Tyler Smith. I was actually pissed about that. To be honest with you.
They make mistakes, but also I remember a lot of people wanted Earl Thomas and was willing to give up a 1st and a 2nd. And I
never wanted Earl Thomas.
No, not you.
If you go back and look at my channel, you can tell. I was so against that.
You said something. You said casual. And you was talking. When you said casual, you said fans on Twitter. Well, I'm just addressing them because I remember a bunch of people, and I remember content writers. They wanted Earl, and I was like, you can find safeties late.
And Jamal.
And if they'd have made that trade, that's CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but no one's
that was gold.
But no one's looking at this. They found Trayvon in the 2nd round. They found Blaine in the 5th round. No one's talking about any of that stuff. Everyone's just talking about they need to make a playoff run.
Well, I did mention that this team is good at drafting, but my point was this year is different because they didn't. It was just weird because they didn't. I'm trying to figure out what the plan is. Are you trying to blow this up and then start over and get rid of that? Because we haven't gotten to that. No, but
I'm asking you this.
My point is we don't know what they're doing. We don't know if they're going to blow this up. The reason why they're not doing anything is because they're just going to let it ride out. And then all these 1-year contracts, they're going to let them all go and then start over. We don't know what they're going to do right now at this point. That's the point I'm making.
But they've actually shown us what they're doing. They're getting rid of old and average players and injured. I mean, look at the guys they get rid of.
Is that considered a retool to you?
To me, it's not a retool to me.
Is it a retool or is it a rebuild?
It's not a rebuild.
I think it's a soft rebuild, low key.
No, I don't think it's because if you go and look at the average turnover rate of every team in NFL, it's 30% roster change. That's
but it depends on who it is, though, John. Because look, here's my thing. We talked about that. We talked about the guys they could extend, right? If they make a simple gesture, and it's not necessarily a simple gesture, but if they find a way, if they extend Dak and CD, I go from my stance of soft rebuild to retool.
I'm gonna ask you this. I hate going back to this playoff game, but in the playoff game against Green Bay, of the 3 money players, who played well? If you guys was like looking at your 3 money players, who played well?
None of them.
Right. I'm gonna ask you this. So let's say we're running the team. Would you have a pause and off of that?
I know what the pause is. The pause is Trey Lance because they saw what Jordan Love did to us. And you got
I don't know about
you got a Jordan Love at home, low key.
Maybe.
You don't know what you got.
You got me. I'll make you some McDonald's at home.
Yeah. But no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right in what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't change the fact that it could be a soft rebuild because they don't feel that they need to make a move right now. You get what I'm saying? Whereas
You talking about
if
from a
you
move like a free agency signing move?
I
What
mean
type of move?
because if you get those guys, like for example, right, with Dak the way that it is right now, and Trey Lance only having one more year, you technically could draft a quarterback.
Trey Lance, this is trade. Well, I think they should have not made the trade because I thought they had him longer. But technically,
I was shocked when they did that.
In a way, they have him for 2 years if they decide to do the 5th-year option. Right?
Well, wasn't this one? They already did the 5th-year option. They already did.
Nah, this is 4th year.
Oh no, I'm saying didn't they already extend it? They already decided.
No, they just did. They did some type of bonus thing. If they do his 5th-year option, if I'm not mistaken, his 5th-year option would be $22 million.
But that even makes the point even more. They're not going to do it, but they technically, quarterback falls, they technically could get a quarterback, and then
I think they should have drafted a quarterback last year, like a young quarterback last year. I liked the Lance trade at first until I realized the timeline, and I was like, this don't make any sense. It's like unless they're all 3 quarterbacks are all.
I agree. But you know what, John? I agree with you in the sense that I'm always trying to replace Cooper Rush because I don't think he's good.
Hold on, how could you not look at that? He won. He was 5 out of 1. He won 5. He's a backup though. He's just a backup.
No, yeah, he's a backup. But I'm just saying, for me, I always feel like
I think it's a comfort.
I'm always from the Joe Montana, Steve Young, how they did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the air. I'm always looking for the air if I can get the air.
I think if that's the case,
but look at other teams. How many really good backups are out there? Let's be honest with you, because we've seen teams where their starters drop, and then the team dropped all the way down without their starter.
That's why I'm always looking for the.
But he's not talking. But he's not talking back. But he's not talking backup though. He's talking like He's talking about the Ron Wolf method of drafting quarterback.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
You're actually going to draft a guy that can push that older guy.
Where you're bringing them. Yeah, I got you.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I love Dak to death. Don't get me wrong, but it's about roster building. The same thing with running back. I'm trying to draft a running back, if not every year, every 2 years.
Well, running back is definitely a position that you should.
I do every 3.
You said every 3? No,
at least every 2.
Y'all are talking about RB1s. Y'all are talking about RB1s.
No, I'm talking about
no, not really.
I'm talking about RB2s.
No, not really. I'm talking about it's like this. If I get a guy and say within 2 years he has 600 carries, I'm drafting that back. I'm just moving on with it. I just think it's the easiest position on a football team that's a guy can just come in and play.
It's also one of the easiest to fall off too. You know what I'm saying?
It always falls off a lot because you start to see because a lot of people like, well, he did this and it's like, dude, he carried 300 times in high school, which probably was 1,200. Then he gets to college, he got about 1,500, and now that stuff starts to wear. And so you got to be aware of that. That's kind of like I want to see what Chris McCaffrey looks like next year because he carried the ball a lot for San Francisco, a lot. But
speaking of which, man, I'm gonna change this subject so we can keep on with the show. Because we're talking about running backs now. How do we fix the run game? You know, I'll start with you, E2. Like, how do we fix the run game based on some of the things we're talking about? We switched to running backs a little bit.
Well, we talked about the Thunder and Lightning. You and I talked about this before, and I think that's where the league is going right now. You're going with multiple backs. Like the days of just having that one bell cow guy is to me is of the past. I think you gotta have, like what you were saying, John. I agree with that about churning your roster when it comes to running backs. When it looked like they got a lot of tread on the tile, you need to get another one. But I also believe that you got to have 2 good running backs on your team. One that's a short yardage guy that can get those tough yards, and then you need a guy that's shifty in the backfield that can get those long runs. You need to have both of that on your team because you need to be able to attack teams in different ways. Because that's what we were lacking without Zeke. We didn't have a guy that can get in that end zone. You need that. And that's what a Zeke is. That's what a Derrick Henry is. So you just got to know what type of back that you're getting for your team, and how your team is predicated. What is the face of your team? Are you a run first? Are you a pass first? Like you got to know what your team is good at and go from there and do what works.
To get me guys that can boogie. You know what I'm saying? Like whether they big, whether they small. Because look,
Yeah.
some of the small guys can get in the end zone. Damn,
They can.
Eckler probably is the best goal line back
That boy's scary. And
over
now
the
he in the
last
division.
whatever. Nah, for real, John. I
Oh
swear.
my
Like,
God.
nobody probably has more 1-yard touchdowns than
I
him.
mean,
in the last couple
he's a nice back.
No, I'm not saying get him, but I'm just saying like if you can boogie, you can boogie. Like a running back can find their way in the end zone. You get what I'm saying? Like
That's true. I like violent runners. I want to take the soul from a team. So for me, I like guys a little bit bigger.
so that means you got to keep backs. You got to keep backs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm a little
Churning.
bit more. I'm a little
Yeah.
bit more old school. For me, I'm more like, get a guy. Like I'm not really a big fan of the dual, like 2 running back type thing. Like get a guy. Go out and get
It
a
works.
guy. They
It
had a
works.
chance to get a guy last year. They're gonna have a chance to get a guy now. That don't mean
I
that
think
guy gonna play for 6 years. I don't need him to play for 6 years. But
the
I think
reason
they
why
can.
Let's take a look at Tennessee real fast before E2. My bad, bro, for cutting you off. But look what Tennessee has done over the last couple of running back stints. They had DeMarco Murray. Then they still drafted King Henry, right? And then they drafted King Henry's replacement last year and got him up out of there. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, just
that.
get you. I mean, I'll ask you guys if Trey Benson
And they had them on the same team at the same time. You got to have them guys snarling at each other. And when they get their carries, like they're hungry out there.
well
Give me some guys that can
the
boogie.
Titans
Sorry.
now with Pollard, they're gonna do a thunder and lightning type of run scheme over there this year.
Who's
With
Thunder?
the way to
Who's Thunder? You said they're gonna do a Thunder and Lightning. I'm wondering who's Thunder for that.
Spears got to be more the Thunder because we know Tony ain't.
Tony Lightning.
I just think I like
Tony
Spears.
is definitely lightning. Tony is definitely
think,
lightning.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
that
think
guy.
I don't know if Spears is Thunder. He's
We'll
a nice
see.
back. I just don't know if he's that.
I mean, it might work well for them. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
I think Spears is their guy personally. I watched what he did against Miami, and I think that they just probably got him and Tony because the league is going more towards the two back thing.
The two running back set. That's what I'm
Tony
saying.
can do some things in the passing game, which we didn't, do a lot last year. But he also dropped the ball a lot too.
Yeah,
he also dropped the ball a lot.
Yeah, but we don't run screens very well.
Our offensive line has also been shaky too.
I kind of feel like we ran screens well. I don't think Dak does screens very well. That's just me. I don't.
Well, that's why I'm saying we don't run screens.
But you know what was best? You know what was best with Dak? The best offensive line that we had with Dak was when we were pulling. Right? He needs an athletic line, a line that does a lot of pulling. And you go back to his rookie year, we were doing a lot of that. And that's
and you need a center. That was my point. Because we had the best center.
So you got to find another Travis Frederick somewhere.
I mean, that's hard, but I'm just saying, like, you got to have more than an average center in order to be doing those things, and that's kind of what I was getting at with fixing the run game.
So
we got to be able to gap scheme as well as zone. We got to be able to do all of it. You got to be able to do multiple things to be able to adjust.
All right, so if you had your choice for either of you guys, who would be the running back you would pick?
My running back,
I like Trey Benson.
Nice. What round?
If I could get him in the second or third, I'm good with that.
I don't know, John. It just depends on how the draft falls, man. Because
I know that, but I'm just saying.
Hypothetically,
it's all I know.
He's gonna go in either the second or the third. So I mean, it's one of those rounds.
I'm just trying to think because I was Trey Benson before I brought up the whole. I don't think Dak is very good at doing screens, and that's part of his game is being very, very good in the passing game. So that's really what makes Trey Benson Trey Benson.
Yeah, and usually when you want to run screens, you want a quarterback that's a little bit mobile. I mean, that can't.
And I don't know if he's that. It's that he's not tall. He's not that tall, and his throw.
He's more of a.
He's 6'2". He's 6'2". But
I mean, he's tall enough. I just think he's flawed. That just isn't something he does.
Yeah. And hear me out though when I say this. Dak doesn't throw at angles. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you do screens, you got to be able to throw at angles. You got to be able to, some of the taller guys can kind of throw over you. Dak doesn't have that ability to really just like sling it from different angles to get it out. It gets
everybody ain't a Pat Mahomes.
It'll get floaty or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean that's no knock on him. It's just one of his flaws. He's not very good at the screen game. And So Trey Benson, yeah, he's the best back in the draft. Besides Brooks, if you want to take a shot at Brooks and double dip in the draft,
I
but
like
yeah,
Brandon. I like Dylan Allen for Wisconsin. I like Dylan Johnson. He's a big violent back.
I love Dylan Johnson.
He's gonna be
that's actually my Alfred Morris sleeper back right there.
I keep telling people about him, and I'm like,
yeah,
you can get him late.
Did they not watch the playoffs, John? Did they not watch the playoffs, bro?
No, he's a violent.
Yeah. Did they not watch him against Oregon in the Pac?
I did.
Championship. He ripped him a new one.
Yeah, bro. And by the fourth quarter, you do not want to tackle him.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I guess I would. That's a tough one, dog. Like, I ruined my own answer.
I asked you this. Okay, so
probably Jalen Wright though. I probably go Jalen Wright. I go Jalen Wright.
I asked you this. If you, and I know we don't know, but if you got Dylan Johnson in the 5th round, are you happy?
Yeah. I'm with my running back game. Yeah, because Dylan Johnson is better than Rico. He better than Deuce. He better than Lipke. So I'm happy.
So I do think they need to build the offensive line and get a real guy. They need to get a real running back. Like, there were times I did see holes last year that the running backs we had just didn't have a vision for it. But I agree, Tony Pollard was better suited for other things, and we just never used it.
What you think about Rico? Because I feel like Rico was doing all right towards the end of the season. Like he was.
Can he be healthy?
He was getting through some of them holes. If he can stay healthy, I think that he'll be all right as an RB2. Yeah,
he wasn't. That was part of it.
I'm like this. I have no problems bringing him back, but I'll find another undrafted running back and I'll push him off the roster.
Yeah, I'm more so about pushing him off the roster. Him or probably Deuce. I mean, even though we just got Deuce last year,
little Deuce.
Yeah.
If we can't run screens, we don't have a point for him, bro.
His daddy worked for the team, though. It's like
practice squad. Shoot.
No, but I feel like with Deuce though, you can use him as a gadget guy, but
there's a couple people in the chat talking about Aldrick Estime, which I like him off the one cut. I think he's pretty good with.
I mean, if they gonna try a gadget guy, there's a kid named Aeneas Smith for Texas A&M. I'll take him and I'll push Deuce and Turpin off the roster.
The problem is, and I hate to go back, but the Schoon pick should have been a running back. All them running backs at that time.
There was a lot of running backs that I liked last year that I was like,
I like that class better last year than this class.
It was deeper, but I was like, if you're gonna get a running back, here's a chance to get one. It was at least, I thought about a third, and we didn't do it in the third either. So I guess they figured they liked Tony Pollard. But once they franchised him and he signed it, I was like, I would have rescinded that before he signed.
The franchise for me would have been to push off the roster for next year, and I got my guy that has a year of experience with Dak Prescott. That's why I'm talking about, hey, keep these backs in here, keep them hungry. Once the other one gone, hey, you stepping up, we getting another back in here.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing that the Cowboys have a problem. They overvalue their players.
Absolutely.
Like Dalton Schultz, you franchised him. Tony Pollard, you franchised him. You extended Jalen Smith way too early.
Man, that one I was like, why y'all paying Jalen Smith? When that happened, I was like, what are we doing?
I mean, he had a great 2018. I'm not gonna knock that, but you still had him for 2 more years. So it's like, see what you got him for 2 more years. There's no reason to rush. But that goes back to he has a great story. And what you saying? I
like the guy. That's
the thing. You like him. I don't care if I like him or not. I just want a good football player. Like I don't.
No. What I mean is, I didn't dislike him as a player. It's just that he couldn't help. He had that drop foot. I mean, he did the best he could, and we did get a couple of good years out of him. But I don't agree with signing him like that when he still had 2 more years on his contract.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying that but I know a lot of people. I think that was the reason they signed him because they liked him. He had a good story. I don't care about his story.
And they learned their lesson. That's why they're not signing Micah. That's why they're not trying to sign Micah early.
Yeah, it's no rush. I don't think they have to rush to sign. They don't have to. You don't. There's no reason to rush. All I know that Green Bay game, if that was my organization, 3 players put me on pause. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Parsons. They didn't have a
and I
ripple
can't be mad
in
at
that
that.
game.
I can't be mad at it.
Yeah, so
I
I
got
would
mad
have
at
an
it.
extreme pause. I would be in no rush to
Now-
move forward.
Now, John, here's the thing about that though. If that's how you feel, fine. But your owner, who probably needs to be, he's probably senile at this point, but he said he was going to be all in with these dudes.
But you can't. I'm gonna go with what E2 says. He said Jerry don't know football. I absolutely agree. I gotta stop listening to Jerry.
I don't listen to him.
I'm just saying that's just in general. But listen to what Will McClay says in the offseason.
Yes, because Will McClay is the voice.
Jerry always says this stuff. It's a mosquito that we gotta wrap. I just think, and it's just like, bro, I don't care. It's all in.
No, but all in has been the mantra this whole time. We've had as a Cowboy fan, how many times have you had to answer to regular people? Yeah, y'all all in, man. What y'all doing?
Right.
How many times have you had to answer for that? Like
every off season, and we just sitting here looking around like we looking like
Jerry.
You got me looking like a cat clock.
Jerry got you answering questions. He got you answering questions.
But I'm a draft guy. Like I like the draft. Like I just think that's how you build your team. I don't listen to what Jerry says. Like I got enough friends who will tell me what he says, but I'm like, let's not listen. Like,
I kind of laugh. I kind of laugh at it at this point. Like honestly, anything that I kind of hear, I've grieved properly. A lot of you Cowboy fans, and I'm going to say you Cowboy fans, have not gone through the 7 stages of grief. I've grieved properly. I yelled. I screamed. I did a rant video. I had to take it down because
we all went through there.
I called a whole bunch of players punks. I called coaches punks. I called people the B word. Oh, look, I got it out.
I did
look
too.
At me. I'm at peace right now. I'm looking at draft picks, trying to figure out how to fix the run game. I'm lovely right now. Me and John had a great conversation for about an hour and a half the other day. Just talking about building this roster. Like I'm at peace. Whether they screw it up or not, hey, I'm good.
But I'll say this, guys. Look at it this way. What Green Bay did to us, and they didn't sign nobody significant. They got they have $59 million of dead money last year.
You know what
just let that settle in. And they played the 49ers better than us.
You know what they did? They put some old football off the roster.
That's the thing. You gotta push old guys off the roster, man. Like football is a young man's game. I don't need 32-year-old dudes on my roster.
Yeah.
The biggest fear is like you said, E, you said we don't know. But that's the fear of the unknown. That's why teams re-sign guys they do know. Did we really need dogs on?
I think what I was making when I said I didn't know, because you look at the last 3 years when we went 12-5, right? I knew going into those off seasons that we was gonna win at least 10 games. This year, I don't know what we gonna do. This is the first time I can say that in a while. Like but it's
March. But it's March though.
But even in March last year, I was like, man, we're going 10 wins. We're going at least 10 wins.
So why did you think that last year though?
Because we were doing things in the offseason. We kind of crossed our T's and dotted our I's. We didn't do that this offseason. We did.
They have. They've let old guys go. I mean, that to me, that's still
like when they made that move for Gilmore and Cooks, I was like, yes, that's what I want you to do. I want you to bring in something that makes. I'm not asking to do what the Commanders do. I don't care about all that. I don't.
But I'm gonna ask you this.
No mass exodus like
that. They went out and got Cooks, and did he say in your opinion, both of your opinions, did he come out and really show you that he was a number 2, or was that or you realize why he's been on 5 teams?
I realize why he's been on 5 teams, and I'm looking for a receiver right now. I'll take a receiver at 20. I'll take a receiver at 24.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say I agree with you, but I'm also gonna say he has shown that he's good for this team as well. Him and Dak got that corner, that end zone down pat right now.
Yeah, they do.
And I just think that if they just do the right thing on offense, because this team, I don't know with this coaching staff is weird. They always go away from stuff that works, right?
Give me an example. Give me an example when you say that.
So remember the first 6 games of the season where the offense was, still learning. I get it. They're still learning a new thing and trying to get it done.
You talking about this year, just past season?
Yeah, this past season.
Okay.
So that was the first year that things were basically in Mike McCarthy's system. We were still running Jason Garrett's system back when we had Kellen Moore. So it was like you had a new coach, but you were still running in the past. It's like we weren't doing things that made sense. So that was one thing. 2.
Hold on, I don't want to
run the ball when you were running the ball. We know what Dak does well, right? The RPO, the screen game, things like that. When stuff like that is working.
Not the screen game.
That's a big thing.
And he don't run the RPOs well. I could point out a game and point it out to you and say, no, he don't. Like
a lot of Dak's highlights are off of that. But I mean,
when the last time he run an RPO?
I say the Chargers game probably. That's
and how long ago was that? Like I'm just saying, man. I mean, I would say this. I think people are attached to a lot of the players, and sometimes you got to realize
the RPO works when you got a back. When you got a back, they got to respect. Yeah,
and then also when you also have a quarterback who's dynamic, he can't outrun nose tackles, bro. Go and look at his tape. He can't. Like
not
there's
anymore.
Not anymore. 2016 was different than now. He suffered a lot of injuries.
But you know who can?
The guy they got on the roster.
Yep. And we gonna see it. And people, I'm calling like, look, me and Foot's the king, and we're gonna talk about this. Me and Foot's the king. We talked about this. Trey can run, and this preseason is gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be fun. Oh boy, it's gonna be fun.
I mean, and it's kind of like what man you mentioned. You talked about Tyler B. He can't pull the move. He just can't do that. So they're making the moves they're making is well known. They're getting rid of old and the weak and the sick, and I have no problems with that. Like, are we still gonna roll out these guys? Jonathan Hankins is just gonna be old, guys. He's not gonna be better. He's just gonna be old. I'm glad they go ahead.
I do want the linebacker from the Browns though. I forget his name, but they got a guy number 44. I think it's Taki. I think that's his name. Sion Taki. I do want him. But
how old is he?
He's coming off his first contract. He's young. He ain't that old.
I'm fine with that. And then here's another thing. You know what else this defense has missed besides size? We haven't had a guy who's who's very cerebral as a middle linebacker. And that's very important because that's the guy who gets everybody in place. So
yes, Sion Taki. He's 28 years old, and he was a guy. He's very, very instrumental in Cleveland. And Cleveland was they were pretty much the ones that gave the blueprint on how to rough up San Francisco. We need some people in the building that understand that scheme.
How big? What's his size? What is his size? The kid from Browns.
He is 6'1", 238. He plays the Sam. He plays the Sam for them.
He plays Sam.
Yeah, they say he can play all of the positions.
We never know what
he ain't get signed yet. I don't think so. Hey,
but that's what I'm saying is like, and you're naming a player that isn't like well known as far as popularity of a name, but as a football player, you know him. And so those are the type of signings I think people should go after as opposed to, because all I'm hearing is like name guys, and I'm like, these dudes are old. Like everyone wants to go after a lot of name guys. And it's like, here's another thing. If these guys were so good, why would their teams let them go? They see them every day. There's a reason why they're letting people go. There's a reason why. And when you get on another team, then you find out. I'm telling you, they're going to cut 85% of these dudes they sign in the first week next year. They do it all the time.
And June is going to be some guys there too. So
exactly, it's just impulse spending. Just because you got the money don't mean you need to spend it.
But my issue with it, John, is we in order to be able to sign and fill the roster without it being all undrafted free agents, we're going to have to pull a trigger on one of these signings, and why wait on that?
The reason why you wait, I believe what you do, the money goes down. Every time you wait, the market goes down.
Yeah, but even if you get it done earlier, the money will still go down, and you probably.
But how early do you want to get it?
I'm just saying, like I don't want to have to rush a deal just to have money.
No, not that. Not to have money. Meaning is the market value of the player goes down after the draft. All these guys play.
Yeah, after the draft, it goes down.
But then here's another thing you got to look at. We're talking about it from the team's perspective. A lot of these veteran guys, they don't like getting signed up. You know that they don't want to deal with training camp. They don't want to deal with voluntary. So it takes both sides to get signed too. So it's a lot of guys want to sit back, wait, and see how things going, and look at the best opportunities. So it works both ways. Like you do want to sign it, but a lot of guys don't want to get signed early. So like when we got Hankins signed last year, we brought him back. What was it? It was like before training camp, I believe, or something like that. So it wasn't in no rush. Gilmore, there's no rush. He got to have surgery too, and so no rush.
I thought didn't Gilmore already have his surgery?
I don't know. I was just throwing that out there.
He got his surgery right after the game.
Then he got to have rehab, and then even based on what you saw of him last year, you see his long speed is gone. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's a lot of risk. And every free agent, everybody want to sign, fellas. You got to realize they were draft picks at one time. So overshot.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the only thing is that I don't want to rush him back. I mean, I don't think you'll be rushing him back. But I'd rather him be comfortable, come back when you are up under your legs fully. And that means, hey, if I got to have a young linebacker and we draft one, so be it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem drafting some young off-ball backers. You can find them. And like you said, a guy in Cleveland, that's another guy. So I don't think there's no rush. Impulse spending gets you nowhere. First week, everybody spends money. I mean, look at all the money people have been spending since 2021. The Giants spent $157 million.
And they ain't bust a great.
Washington, 50 million. They were 7-10. I mean, Philadelphia has either been like us or they spent. Philadelphia spent a lot of money last year, $100 million. And what do they do? So it's like, we just don't know the plan. They're going to reveal the plan. I just think people need to just calm it down. It's going to play itself out.
Absolutely, guys. So look, we're getting ready to wrap this thing up because this is a very, very spirited conversation. I think it was well needed. I loved it, John. I would love to have you back sometime for sure.
I appreciate it
for sure, bro. Yeah, because I definitely thought it was a really good back and forth, especially with you two. I loved it. But E2 wanted to talk about cereals from last week, so we're going to continue our Freestyle Friday theme.
Cereals? Oh, cereals.
Okay. Yeah, favorite cereal.
Not serial killers, John.
No, I mean cereal. I thought we was.
My man said cereals.
No.
Let me get up out of here real quick.
I got too long-winded because I thought we was going to do the thing with the centers and the tackles, but I disrupted things by being too long. So, all right, that's cool.
We'll get back to that. We got time.
Yeah. My favorite cereals, Frosted Flakes. I've always liked Frosted Flakes as a kid.
That Frosted.
I got that on top of the fridge. Look, black people they put stuff on top of the refrigerator. Hey, look, I still got some on top of the refrigerator right now.
Look, I'm looking at the top of mine right now.
Yeah, for sure. I still love Frosted Flakes. Freestyle Friday.
Frosted Flakes is a classic. Frosted Flakes is a classic.
I still do.
I remember one time when I was in high school, I think I had the Frosted Flakes and still had nerve to put some more sugar on.
Hey, dog, look. I'm about to give y'all a secret. I'm about to put y'all on game. You don't even need sugar. Just get you some almond milk. It's a wrap.
No, I drink almond milk.
Almond milk with the Frosted Flakes.
Yes. Almond milk.
Where have you been all my life?
A lot of people don't dig almond milk.
My favorite of all time is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Can't get enough of it.
I knew you was gonna say that. You predictable. You like the Joneses.
I'm very predictable. I am. Look. People that know me know that I'm a creature of habit. Like if somebody wanted to kill me, they know how to get to me because I do the same thing all the time because I don't like to be disappointed, right? So if I know what it is, I know what it is. I'm spending my money on it. I like it. That's what I'm gonna get because I know
So
what it
is that-
tastes like. I know what it looked like. It is what it is.
We gotta have two favorites. Well, John said that
I
Frosted
do have
Flakes
more
is
than
all
one favorite.
I still rock Frosted Flakes.
like. What's your growing up favorite and what's your favorite now? Because your taste buds are different right now. John's apparently John was a growing up as a kid.
No, but I'm like E2. I'm really a creature of habit. I still rock with the same stuff I used to rock with when I was 10. Except women.
I grew up on Captain Crunch.
Ooh,
My
yeah,
brother
people, yeah.
those.
We got a
My
couple
brother loved those.
Captain Crunches in here. Man, hey, look, I was a bit of a cereal whore. I jumped around. Look, Cookie Crisp,
I
Cocoa,
remember that.
Cocoa
Cocoa-
Puffs.
Yeah, I tried those as a kid.
Remember Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles?
I remember Fruity Pebbles.
Let's see. I've even had a Kix kick. Remember Kix?
Oh yeah, I
don't know
remember
why.
Kix.
I don't know why. I would put a little sugar in it, and Kix was good.
Kix was good with a little bit of sugar, and I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even gonna front.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
But now they got some. Reese's
Honey
peanut butter.
Grams.
Reese's peanut butter puffs has been my recent good. I'm almost done, son.
Lucky
Reese's
Charms.
peanut
Somebody
butter
said Lucky
puffs.
Charms.
Hey. Ask Austin what's his favorite cereal.
Austin, what's your favorite cereal? Come here.
Appreciate you, sports guru, for the super chat, my guy.
Hey,
Great
tell
man too,
everybody
man.
what's your favorite cereal.
What's your favorite cereal? Get the kid.
I got Kix.
Kix?
Yes.
You don't like Kix? No, say.
I got 3.
No. What's your favorite cereal? My son like fruit. He likes Fruit Loops. Say Fruit Loops.
I have Fruit Loops.
Oh, you like Fruit Loops? All right, that's cool.
Fruit Loops are good, man. Fruit Loops are good.
Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Hold on, real quick. Can I get a Go Cowboys from you? Can you say Go Cowboys?
Go Cowboys.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, go play. I'll be done in a minute.
Go Cowboys.
Man, I don't even know what my favorite cereal today is.
Did somebody say Count
chocolate.
Dracula?
Somebody said Count.
Did somebody say Count Dracula?
I remember those. Yeah.
Is that the one? Is that the one with the ghostly marshmallows?
Yeah. That's
all them cereals was killing us. All them cereals was killing us, bro. Killing us softly.
Oh, Tricks. Somebody said Tricks.
Yeah, Tricks. My favorite cereal now is Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't know why. Don't ask me why.
I'm not a fan of Cheerios.
Man,
you know why I'm
Honey
not a
Nut
fan
Cheerios.
of Cheerios?
It can't be regular Cheerios.
Nut. Oh, the Honey Nut. Okay, all right.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Yeah, the Lala.
Put that honey in there,
Cheerios.
changes everything.
Yeah, that Lala. Absolutely, like Honey Nut Cheerios.
My mother said she liked Raisin Bran.
Oh yeah, that's a.
She said with a little sugar.
My grandma liked Raisin Bran.
Hey John. She was like, put a little sugar on there. Put a little sugar on that Raisin Bran. Then you got something going on.
Yeah, that's that healthy cereal, man.
Yeah. Now, Raisin Bran was one of those things where I ate when there's nothing else available. You know how like when you go to the hotel and you go down there and for the continental breakfast, you like, damn, ain't no Cheerios or nothing down here. You like, well, Raisin Bran it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's like chewing some cardboard with some raisins in it.
No bull.
Yeah, it is, bro.
If you need a movement, if you need a
Eastside Harold said he likes sugar and bananas in his Cheerios.
I can understand that. I've done the bananas thing before. I've definitely done that.
Bananas is
Raisin Bran for a special group. I'm trying to tell you, my grandma used to have nothing but Raisin Bran in the crib.
Hey, bro, that stuff give you gas too, bro. You got that fiber.
Dog. Yeah, if you need a movement, bro, yeah, eat you some Raisin Bran. You good. You good.
Shut up, Eastside.
Yeah. But yeah, appreciate y'all, everybody for everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. John, thank you for being a guest.
Man, thank you for allowing me to come on, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, you brothers just did a favor. That was cool. That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good Friday night.
Definitely fun. So, man, you brothers have a great Friday, great Easter. Love with your family. So all good. We're gonna be good, man. We're gonna be fine. As a football team, I'm not really that worried.
Hey, look! You just gave me some extra confidence because I was just like, man, I don't know. Like that's what I said. This is the first year where I was like, I don't even know.
All right, I'm gonna
Hey,
ask you this: was it ever a year that they surprised you and you didn't know, or is this just from the Green Bay loss?
I just think it's just fumes from the Green Bay loss.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm like, they just did something we didn't expect it, but they still got. I'm gonna ask you this: who's the best?
It's almost like when something happened and you just reaching for answers. You're just like, why did this happen? Like when you had a breakup.
I ask you this: who's the best quarterback in the NFC East?
In the NFC
East. In the NFC
Dak.
East.
Dak.
If
Dak
you got
Prescott.
the best quarterback, you cooking with gas already. So he's gonna get you.
But I think the biggest thing is, do we have the best quarterback? Meaning, like, we know we have the best quarterback. We have him signed for another year, but do we have the best quarterback? Meaning, are things good on that end? Meaning,
what do you mean?
Like,
you mean finance with the contract, or what are you talking about?
yeah. Are they truly good? Because the reason I asked that question is, if you're so sure about your guy, you make it happen, especially when he has the leverage.
But here's
I think some of it might have to do with his agent because Dak's agent clearly is a genius.
Do you think he has leverage?
Yeah, he got all the leverage.
I think he has the leverage. You know why I think he has the leverage? I think he has the leverage because if he plays this year, next year the market is going to be huge for him. So, and then all they get is a comp pick out of that. All they get is a third round probably out of that.
Okay, so let's hypothetically, let's say they play Trey Lance in the West Coast offense.
Okay,
is he a better fit for it than Prescott is? Not a better quarterback, just a better fit.
I don't think so because I don't know that he processes fast enough. So I need to see it.
But isn't the West Coast
49ers because the 49ers do the West Coast offense? So
yeah, but hold on, but
it's
not like Shanahan is some offensive guru with the quarterbacks. Like he doesn't have a history of that.
He likes having plain Jane quarterbacks so they can run and do all the play action stuff.
Yeah, you guys remember
Mr. Irrelevant.
You guys remember Aaron Brooks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, he's from Virginia.
Right. Go back and look at his best year. It
was under Mike McCarthy as his OC.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You remember Matt Flynn?
Yes.
You guys remember that? The guy who came
Mike
down.
McCarthy?
Of course I remember.
How and be honest, when Prescott got hurt and
nickname Mr. Money.
Did you think
I think McCarthy was helping Kellen during that time. I think he was.
But do you think when Cooper went in there and we had to roll with him for 5 games, did you think the season was over?
No, I thought we had to split though. I didn't think we win that many games, but I thought we could win 2 to 3.
But he surprised when we won 4. So with the talent that you have with the quarterback, I'm not saying he's going to be an all-world dude, and I agree with you with the processing. But that's what the West Coast system is to have him process less. He's supposed to have more options very quickly. You can roll with him. You can play action with him.
And the good thing about the West Coast offense is because you could do things off of. So like basically, it's like a template, and you can create different things off of that template. So I think that in the beginning we weren't doing that, but I think that as time progressed, we were like, okay, well let's see it.
I just gotta see it.
No, let's get a second. Let's get a second year. Let's get a second year in this West Coast, Texas Coast offense and see what.
I don't think Prescott's the guy for the West Coast offense. So.
I don't know. I think he's all right for it.
I think we need to get him a running back, bro. And
I completely
because you can't keep throwing the ball all day.
No. I completely agree with you guys on that.
Because teams were not afraid of our running game. That's
I completely.
That's the difference between us and the 49ers.
It's not just the run game, but your running back. Your running back,
other than our running back,
your running back in the West Coast has to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield too. And hey. That's the area that we're missing. So I get what you're saying because we talked about that.
That's why I said get you some Trey Benson and maybe bring Zeke back. Then you got something going.
No.
You don't want to get off. I mean, those 14 touchdowns in the red zone.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
No,
Look, I was good with bringing Zeke back before we signed Rico. I could have done without signing Rico back.
No.
I could have done without signing Rico back.
I'm with that too. I'm with. I'm okay
I'm
with
good.
that.
I'm good with Zeke and a guy in the draft for right now.
No, let's go get a young guy. Let's get some.
Why don't you want Zeke?
He's 33 years old with no burst.
What they got to do? That ain't. I mean, but he still can produce. We seen what he did with. He still has some juice with New
He don't have no. He don't have no. Juice.
But John, let me tell you why I like Zeke. This is why I like Zeke.
He gets
like
you those
Zeke's
tough
temperament.
yardage, and he's good. He's good.
No, it has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with the fact that Zeke is a leader. Zeke is tough. The people and the guys will run through a brick wall because Zeke is running through a brick wall.
I love all of I love all of that. He can come down to training camp. He can talk to my fellas. He can do that. I do not want a dude who has no burst. His burst is gone. His burst is gone. He cannot, bro. The last year he was with us, he was getting tripped up with arm tackles. He didn't used to do that. We move on. I'm gonna ask you this: was you guys fine when they brought Jason Witten back?
No,
even though he could get free in the red zone. No,
well, that's different. That's a different position. I feel like he was just a progress stopper over there.
And so is a 31-year-old running back.
No, because running back is different.
Not if I draft Jalen Wright.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He ain't a progress stopper. Jalen Wright getting his carry.
Get a young running back. We don't need age, fellas. Like, we don't need age. If I'm gonna get age, it'll be a kicker.
I feel you on that.
I understand what you mean.
I feel like with Rico back, it doesn't make sense.
I'm with that, but Zeke is a little different.
What's so different about him?
Because I like what he does in that short yardage situation, and he's good with us because he knows how we play. He knows Dak. He knows.
I think Hunter can do that. We just ain't give him enough carries, or we ain't give him.
Well, that's true. They also didn't give Hunter a chance, and you see what Mike McCarthy had when he had John Coons over there.
Yeah, I heard y'all talking about that last year. Yeah, so Coons, put it this way.
Coons was the man over there, and you see what 49ers do with you.
But let me let you know something. Hunter Lipke is better than him. As a matter of fact, Hunter Lipke has more running back
or Juszczyk.
Better than Coon. Yeah, he has more running back.
Definitely better than Coons. Yeah,
you could line Hunter Lipke up as a running back, and he can run the ball.
But he also he can do a little bit of an H back. He can be a tight end.
Yeah, he can do it all. He's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I don't think we used him enough. I don't think we used him enough.
They didn't. That's crazy.
That goes back to what you was talking about the Joneses.
Hush, boy.
That goes back to when you paying a quarterback $50 million or $40 million and not knowing who he is.
Which is crazy. Because the Chiefs paid their guy more than that, and they gladly handed the ball off when they needed to. It won the Super Bowl.
True, but I'm gonna ask you this: do you think Dak Prescott is an elite quarterback?
No,
I'm not gonna say elite. I think
look. I don't use the word loosely. I think there's one elite quarterback. I think that there's
everybody else. Yeah.
So you don't think Joe Burrows?
No. Hell no.
He can't stay on the field. He can't stay on the field.
Well, hold on. I'm not knocking that. I'm not disagreeing about the injury. But Burrows did go into Kansas City and beat Kansas City, and then he beat Kansas City again. And he
also started the year off really bad last year too.
Not denying that. I'm not denying that. But I'm just saying
he did.
I'm not saying but he got hurt. But that's also Cincinnati's offensive line is trash. Like that, they not investing in the offensive. But if I can get a guy to beat Pat Mahomes twice,
Josh Allen can't beat him in the playoffs, but Josh Allen has beat him. Josh Allen almost beat him. And I'm
gonna ask you this: if you look at Kansas, if you look at Buffalo, they signed an old Von Miller, which was dumb. And do they really have a running game down there to help him? Like, because he does a lot, but do they really? Yeah, so
they do now. Yeah. Because Cook started coming on, and that's really what saved their season. Is that?
But I think they should have. But I think they should have embraced that so much more early. It would help him out a lot.
They should have embraced it in the playoff game. when they had Kansas City and they didn't. But hey, that's another conversation for another day.
True. That is true. But we'll find out what. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Thank you. Thank you. Bro, he ain't got no birth. You don't have no when your running back ain't got no burst. It's time to let him go, man. He ain't got no burst.
I'm just looking at him as a compliment. I'm not talking about
he ain't
him being the
nothing.
one.
He's a progress stopper. You don't put old guys that can't play.
Who he progress stopping? We ain't even got nobody.
Hold on, let me ask you this.
We ain't even got no damn running backs.
But if you put him on the roster, you need to bring in guys that can play.
I'm not saying to just get Zeke and that be the end all be all.
No, don't get him now.
Get him and
wait.
go
I wouldn't get him at all.
I didn't say now. I meant after the draft.
All right, so say they get Trey Benson. You bringing in Zeke?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Hell no.
I would.
Hell no. Hell no.
Your brother disappeared. God, he done disappeared.
Ghost. Turn the Patrick.
Where did he go? Nobody knows.
If you have Trey Benson, you don't need Ezekiel Elliott. But you do more with the fullback. But anyway, I'm hijacking this show. I know DMV is trying to end.
Man, we gotta get out of here.
My son want my attention, so I need to go
your
ahead.
son wants your attention.
I'm about to go ahead and give him attention so he go to bed.
But I appreciate it. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. And everybody. Yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. And we out.
Follow my boy DMV. Man, he is a great football mind. And follow E2 Blue. That's my first time.
And follow you too. Follow you on Twitter.
Don't follow me. Don't follow me.
Follow him. Follow him so you can argue with him. Argue with him all day.
Don't follow me.
He said he's gonna block each and every one of you.
You're right. I will. Follow these two brothers. I'll block people too fast, man. Way too fast.
The block game is serious.
Serious. I'll block motherfuckers. I don't even know Tuck because I blocked him a long time ago.
Dang.
Exactly.
But yeah, man.
All right, man.
We out, y'all. Peace.
Thank you for.
I can't feel the pain, I'm numb to all you say. To keep it real and stay 100 through the rain. I can feel there's something missing from your face. To keep it real and stay 100 in your veins. Put me in these boxes, still I'm trying to break away. I just roll it up and down some liquor for my pain. Thoughts inside my head, it's nightmares instead of some dreams. I've been trying to hold on to everything from the seams. Try to get it by any means. There's no accepting defeat with all this pressure that's on me. Trusting whenever I breathe, cause everything is on me. If everybody is down, I gotta pick up all the pieces. Yeah, I can't fall, cause I do it for my daughter, so she can make it farther. Ain't worry about your comments, cause I believe in karma. No time for your bullshit or any